Good evening, and welcome to Coffee Talk. It is Friday, the 28th of March, 2025, 7 p.m. Central Time. It is Friday, the 28th of March, 2020. Oops. Need to turn the volume off. I did turn it down. Thank the Lord. That was bad. Oh Lord, if you can't laugh at yourself, sorry. Oh my God, this is a good one. Oh. Good evening, KP Heathen. Thank you for coming in. I'm having a good laugh at my expense. Enrique Trevino, welcome, my friend. And thank you for my second like. KP, I'm going to try to get your box together this weekend. Should be a good video out of it. And I will probably get it mailed off Monday or Tuesday of this next week. So you should have it by the end of next week. I'm sending you some goodies. A follow-up box of goodies. And Enrique says he wants the goodies if he wins. When I get the 1900 subscriber giveaway going. I still need 35. I need 35 subscribers. Melinda Elliott, hello. How are you doing? Thank you for the forced thumb. I appreciate it. So I'm at the point where I'm doing, because I've got people who consistently follow me, and I think all of them have received at least one box from me. So I'm in the process of starting a second level of boxes for people. Now, some people have already had 3-4 boxes from me, but we exchange boxes, and we sort of, well, I got to retaliate because they sent me something, those kind of things. But I will be getting around over the next few months to blessing a number of people who bless me constantly with their presence with follow-up boxes. I'm going to try to get one together for Heathen this weekend. And I'll make a video of it. I'm going to probably do some more packages, modular operational ration enhancement packages. I'm going to do some of that. Uncle Al, Bullfrog 79. And I can hear one of my dogs out there barking. Our dogs are inside dogs. I mean, my wife took them over for injections. Can you believe a dog getting a flu shot? I don't even get flu shots. But my 2 dogs, they got flu shots. So God almighty. My wife thinks I'm made of money. The dogs, their medical care costs more than mine. Oh, Lord. It's a good one. The only pleasant thing is that the loudmouth little BASTARD got it in the ass. I I think that's where they stick them, probably in the hip or whatever, for the dogs. But I don't know. Oh Lord. So Uncle Al contacted me. Another suggested topic. And one of the things I will say, to preface whatever else I say, antibiotics, penicillin, that was discovered and began during World War II. 1942 sounds like a good year for that to have started. I think it was 1942, 1943 when antibiotics was discovered. Penicillin, which was the first antibiotic. So prior to that, we did not have, we didn't have the cure for a lot of bacteria. Somebody having bloody dysentery. Dysentery is bad, but when you have it long enough, and if it's severe enough, it's bloody dysentery, I guess. That's not good at all. And typhoid fever. These are all things that'll kill you. Pneumonia. George Washington died of pneumonia. Our first president who led the Continental Army to victory over the British. Gangrene. You get blood poisoning and gangrene. Certainly will kill you. And malnutrition. Scurvy. These are all things that killed or still killed in 1926. 100 years ago. Can you imagine going back to that time? I'm reminiscing, but I'm not that old. I'm reminiscing. If my father, were he alive, would remember 1926. He was 13 years old because he was born in 1913. Buying space. Hello. Busy day. Busy day. Very busy day. Didn't William Henry Harrison die from pneumonia too? Quite possibly. I'd have to Google that one. Well, I believe one of the major reasons that the South lost the Civil War is Thomas Jackson, who was the best field general that the North or South had. He got shot in the arm, friendly fire. They were basically driving they'd won the battle, and they were basically driving the northern troops, trying to overrun them and driving them and trying to just smash the army. That's something that they would not do, is the idea of following up and just keep on them until you just basically they surrender. I mean, with the whole bloody kit and caboodle surrenders. Anyway, it was after dark, and they were riding, he and some of his officers, and they all had their pistols drawn. He got shot in the arm by friendly fire. They thought it might have been it was very confusing, and they were mistaken for Union cavalry. He got shot in the arm. And back then, the technology the way it was, and the lack of technology the way it was, is they basically just took his arm off. And he got blood poisoning, pneumonia, and he died about 10 days later. You know, pneumonia. They didn't have antibiotics, and they didn't have good surgical techniques at that time, and their instruments were not. I mean, what should have been, okay, let's cut it out and sew it up, give them some antibiotics or whatever, they didn't have that. You know, that was in 1863, I believe, end of 1862, beginning of 1863, before Gettysburg. Died from sepsis. Well, it got to his lungs and pneumonia. Oh, Henry Harrison, yes. Okay, sepsis. Blood poisoning. Yeah, it would be a horrible death. Horrible death. Um, Uncle Al threw in about eating rice and beans, you know. That rice and beans will sustain you. Um, Talking about proper nutrition. Well, beans are a source of protein. Rice. Uh, I like rice and beans. I had rice. I do pots of rice all the time. I like it, but it can get bland. You better have some spices for it. You better have some salt and pepper and garlic. Be nice to have butter, you know, or gravy. Make some gravy. Um, gotta gotta treat it so it's edible. And then you get the situation with beans. Beans are good, really good. Better have some pork to put in it. Give it some good flavor. Nothing wrong with rice and beans, cornbread, staples. Staples of the old school diet. Um, but Uncle Al talks about going back to the good old days 100 years ago, the technology that we had 100 years ago. Think about all right. So we're reviewing right now in history, doing U.S. history, getting ready for the STAR test. And I did a review of inventions between the end of the Civil War in 1865 and the turn of the 20th century in 1900, and all of the major innovations and things that came out, like around 1875, which would be about 150 years ago. The idea of the telephone, you know, electric lights, invention of the automobile. They started using iron to build skyscrapers. The introduction of the elevator in the skyscraper. Electricity, the phonograph, motion pictures, Kodak, um, just new things. And the Transcontinental Railroad, linking the East Coast to the West Coast. That was a major endeavor. Years in the making. Think about all the innovations that came out in the last 150 years. Medical technology improved, but antibiotics, we've had antibiotics for less than 100 years. Does the Texas curriculum include Tesla or just Edison? You mean Nikola Tesla? See, Nikola Tesla was into direct current. They call DC, 12 volt voltage. That was low power. And Edison was into alternating current, what we call like 110 or 220, which is what basically is pretty much what we have today. When you start getting into backup systems and batteries and solar panels and all that sort of stuff, it's basically geared for 12 volt, 24 volt, but you can have an inverter that you can use that will allow you, like a pure sine inverter, that will allow you to use AC current, like for some of the things that you have that requires AC, you know. But AC burns a lot more wattage than direct current does, DC. But that's a solar topic. As far as the textbooks are concerned, well, what I'm using right now is 8th grade. 8th grade U.S. History, which is U.S. History Part 1. And it doesn't cover the most modern era, the second part of U.S. history. It basically goes right up to after the Civil War, Reconstruction. It covers a period in there, and then like the 20th century, with the World Wars and Korea and Vietnam and the Gulf and all that sort of stuff. That would be in the second part. It would be high school, 9th grade, U.S. history or U.S. history part 2. And I don't really know. I'd have to go look at one of those books. Yeah, I would think that they probably would, from the standpoint of the science. I mean, he was a remarkable man. He accomplished quite a bit, and he left us quite a bit, but his the technology based on what he created was not what was adopted as far as the power grid is concerned. And whereas we basically work with, alternating AC, they say AC DC, alternating current, direct, current. We basically, our technology and our power grid and everything's based on alternating current. That would be Edison. Five in the house. 7 likes. So, well, yeah. The closer you are to genius, the more likely you are to be mentally unstable. There's a proclivity, higher IQ people tend to have more mental instabilities and such. That's why sometimes Uncle Al gets onto his episode or goes into a rant. It's one of those genius things he does. He starts getting into a rant about something or other. And then he'll apologize. He cools off. He'll apologize. And good fiction, you know. A Republican, yeah. Most of the people up in the Northeast at that time were Republicans. That's where the Republican Party was. Uh, it's interesting that you sort of had a flip. Um, the Republican Party today is strongest in the South and Midwest, the Heartland. Um, you go over to the East Coast, and they're overrun with socialists and communists. That's why a lot of the rural counties in California and Oregon and Washington, they'd all like to join the states that are right next to them that are a lot more conservative. But I don't want to beat the dead horse about the party affiliations and such. So 5 things that still killed in 1926 in Texas. Uncle said in Texas: bloody dysentery, typhoid, pneumonia, gangrene, malnutrition or scurvy. Yeah, malnutrition, not eating a balanced diet, not eating fruits, orange juice, um, perhaps eating very little protein, uh, way under the number of calories that you need, being underweight because you don't get enough calorie intake. Eating foods that are not good, spoilage. Um, there were places that didn't have refrigeration. There were people that didn't have refrigeration. Back in the days, the idea of the ice box, you would have somebody, you had a business that made ice, and you get these blocks of ice, and they would take it around, or somebody would go and get one, and they'd take this big block of ice and they'd set it in an iced box, and the block of ice was in an insulated box, and you put your stuff in there, and it would keep things cold for a period of time before it melted. It would retain the cold, and it would keep stuff cold. The idea of an ice box. Ever seen A Million Ways to Die in the West? Jokes about that kind of thing? Vaguely, I remember it. I last 7 or 8 years, 10 years, I really haven't been too much on movies, but I vaguely remember that one. Everything killed you back then. Yeah, everything would kill you. You'd get infected. You would catch something. It's like the Native Americans. When the Spaniards came over, they brought diseases with them that the natives didn't have any immunity to. And something that probably would not kill a European, they'd catch it. They'd get sick and they'd recover. The natives, it'd kill them. That's why it basically just their population was decimated. Yeah. Yeah, like I've got a couple of real nice Bouge RV um, compressor driven um, refrigerator freezers, dual zoned, and I basically use them for refrigeration, and they'll run on 12 volt, and they don't take an awful lot of power to run them. So I could basically, with my solar setup, I could keep things even in low sunlight situations, like in wintertime. I can keep enough power coming in to keep it running because it doesn't take that much. So I could have cold, whatever I want cold. I really wouldn't use it as a freezer. I'd basically use it to just keep stuff in the, you know, 40 degrees, 38, 40 degrees. And I would have cold beverages and keep my butter and keep my cheese and keep my various, whatever I need to keep cold. Pretty good, 50 quart, pretty good size one. Got both of them on wheels, and I got hand, you know, extension out. You can, yeah, nice units. There was this website called the Darwin Awards. It had lists of people who died in stupid ways. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. How are you doing? The Darwin Awards. Yeah. Well, there have been idiot kids that they take a rock or something other and they're over on an overpass and they drop it down and it smashes through the windshield of a car and kills somebody. That's happened. That's happened several times where it made the news about some idiot kids, teenagers think they're having fun, and they took a pretty good sized rock and they dropped it off of an overpass. Hits 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 a car and it kills the person in the car, or truck or whatever. Just stupid people doing stupid stuff. And that happens. 8 in the house and 8 likes. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, mom of 4 boys. So, my friend Dave, who's going by Yoda, he used to go by Guru and Wahoo the Turtle back. His name is changed. His YouTube name has changed. Now he's going by Yoda. And he's in the hospital right now. Uncle Al's mentioned it to me, and I talked to him and everything. He's in the hospital. He's having some issues with the leg. Might be infected or whatever. Yeah, trying to idiot-proof the overpasses. At any rate, he had suggested that I let my main channel rest for a month and basically use my backup channel. I have a secondary channel, and I have a few videos and shorts on it, and I've got a lot of stuff backed up on it that I've got private that I could release. Videos, shorts, various things. I keep it as a sort of like a reserve site to store stuff that I could release. And he had suggested, why don't I go ahead and work on building that for a month? Like, I have 56 subscribers on my backup channel, 56 subscribers. I have a little under 1,900 on my main channel, which is the one I've had for 5 years or so that I've been, you know, involved with YouTube. So I may wind up doing that. I get out for summer vacation. I may let my main channel rest. I may start putting out content. You know, and those of you who follow me can follow me on my backup channel, and maybe I'll pick up a few extra, you know, subscribers. Send a hi in chat. Huh. That I have not seen. I don't know. They're always coming up with stuff. They're always coming up with stuff. But one of the things that it would behoove you to do, if you could, you know, if you could acquire some antibiotics that you can keep in reserve for the possibility of not being able to get to a doctor. And you have the ability to acquire antibiotics or get a prescription for some antibiotics and hold them in reserve. There are businesses, like I think one of them is called Chase, and there's a doctor who operates a business where you can contact him and he'll charge you for a phone visit, and then he will write a script for antibiotics which you can have sent to you, and then you pay, and it's not, insurance isn't going to cover it, but you basically pay out of pocket for the visit and for shipping and for the antibiotics. And you can have them send you a selection of antibiotics, you know, a Z-Pack and different, you know, medications. And it's not cheap, but it's a way to have for something you keep in reserve. If something happens, you know, you're not able to get to a doctor or medical facilities or whatever, then you have those in reserve that you can use. And they don't work. That sounds black market. No, it's not Chase. Chase case. Yes, something like that. Little Prepper. And it is legal. It is a licensed medical doctor. But that would be something that you could have. That's just like you get a doctor that will write you a 1 year script for your medication, your supply, your medication. Now, insurance, most insurances will, that cover you for medication and such, they allow you to get a 90-day supply. 90-day supply. And then when that supply is running out, you can get another 90-day supply. And it's just So, in other words, you get medication 4 times a year. But wouldn't it be nice for reserve purposes in case something happens that you could acquire a year's worth or a couple of years worth of your medication? Say you take a couple of blood pressure medications and a cholesterol pill and maybe a water pill. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get like a year's supply or a couple of years' supply, so if something happens and this is life sustaining medication, that you can still take it even though you can't get it from for a while. Maybe it's not able to get it from a doctor or get it from a medical pharmacy or whatever, but you got a supply of it to keep you going. I mean, that's part of prepping, or the idea, like Uncle Al says, have like 2 years worth of food, 2 years supply of food, and yeah, I'm building up my supplies of food, beverages, water. Was it a troll, Uncle Al? EpiPens. A troll. Well, they say you've made it big when you hit trolls or when you start getting trolled. They say that's a sign that you're in the big times. I don't get trolls the way I used to. I don't get hit by trolls the way I used to. Also, uh, people people seem to be on a lot of times. They seem to be on the extremes. They either in the extreme left, so like a left wing nut, communist, or they may be extreme right. You don't get that much center anymore. Myra, I would like to get a couple of EpiPens. My brother-in-law has a prescription, so I might be able to give him the money to get one for me. Sometimes allergies come on suddenly. Well, welcome to my channel, One Yankee Says. If you come around for a while and you behave yourself, and I'm easy with comments, just watch the watch the personal attacks about Santa and bald heads and such, and you'll be okay. uh, you get telemedicine with, yeah, yeah, teledoc. I've got that. Your urologist said medical care is going away. Don't get sick. Yeah, yeah. That's something that I probably need to really, look into. Is I need to acquire some of the antibiotics and some of the medications. Theraflu. Antibiotics do not work on viruses. Works on bacterial infections. I'm not allergic to anything that I know of. So I don't have reactions like, oh well, I had some shellfish, or I had shrimp, or I had oysters, or whatever. And no, unless it's bad food, like food poisoning. Yes, the AI algorithm does not like us talking about certain things. Um, it's like George Orwell's 1984. That'd be a good read. Been a while since I've read that one. Um, I went, after I got off work, I went over to Aldi and I looked at the price of eggs. I'll do an update short on that. I bought groceries, meats and foods and various things. And I shot video of it before I bagged it up. So you can see basically what I got. And I also showed, what I paid for it. And like fresh meats and such. Everything's going up when it comes to that. Alacanada. Yes, things can come up. Things can come up. How are you doing, Alacanada? Thank you for coming in. I am doing well, Alacanada. I'm ready for my weekend. I will be off tomorrow and Sunday. You're going to school? Okay, well, I'm glad for you. Working on a degree? That would be good. Education's important. Alacanada is from the subcontinent of India. Beautiful lady, beautiful family. Got a good channel. If you're not subscribed, good opportunity to grow together. I will be over to visit. No like thingy on my screen, I don't know. Might be those little dots up in the corner, the little French fry up in the corner, the 3 dots. You might click on that. I will say, for the benefit of those present, I will be doing a 1,900 subscriber giveaway when I get to 1,900 subscribers. In order to qualify for the 1,900 subscriber giveaway, the way I do every 100 new subscribers, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit 1,900. I'll figure out who they are. Their names will go in a hat, and I will draw, and whoever I draw from the hat will be the 1900 subscriber winner. And if you look at some of my prior subscriber winner videos, you'll see that I give out nice stuff rooted in essential oils. Thank you for coming. Another good channel. And I will tell you, the earlier on, some of them, I would have like upwards of around 40 people that qualified. But the last couple of ones I've done, because I've been growing so slowly, last one I did, I had 14 people in the hat. 14 people in the hat. Yes, Mom won. Uncle Al has won. Little Lone Prepper has won. Doing church paperwork and waiting for my ride. We did the Mahjong luncheon today. Uncle Al, be safe. I pray for you, and I appreciate you. Mike, Crusher Reviews. Mike, I just got a notification you released something else. I'll be watching it. That site that you got that case B at, the new case B, for $95, they're sold out. I went over there trying to acquire a case. They also had listed a case A and a case B for about 150 or so. I tried to acquire that. It was sold out. So I was not able to get anything. That's the thing right now, is that like if you go on Amazon, you're going to get a case that's probably 3 or 4 years old. So the the inspection date will probably be like this year, or it might have been like in 24, the inspection date. So it'll be several years old. And then their cases are going to be $150 or so, and that'd be for like a 4-year-old case. Bothers me, my nails. That would be for about a 4, maybe even a 5-year-old case. And you don't know how they've been stored, so you don't know what that does to your shelf life. But I'm still looking. When I find stuff that's a good deal, I buy it. But you got a good deal on that, my friend. And and I really enjoy your reviews. I will say this, Viper GT, Viper has, he's been putting them out. He has been putting them out. Joseph Moore, how's it going, Joseph? Thank you for coming. But this weekend, relaxing, that's good. So, this weekend, Uncle, if you're out in California, you better be packing, son. Actually, just about wherever you're at in the United States, you better be packing, because you don't know with all the criminal types out there. And they have no problem looking for crimes of opportunity like with old people or older people. Oh Lord, I just think about stuff that people say and stuff that I've heard. Uh, God Almighty, I'll tell you, been a day. So I, I didn't feel like cooking this evening, and I got my wife, and you know, so I stopped and I got a couple of cheeseburgers, all the way from Jim's Big Burgers, French fries, and drank a half and half tea and lemonade. My supper. I'll cook breakfast, and I may do a pot roast tomorrow, or I may wait to Sunday. But I got a pot roast I need to do. I'll do a pot roast. I need to take the time to cut up some potatoes, cube some potatoes, so that I can, you know, just been lazy, lazy David. Haven't really had the time or the energy to do it. It is what it is. 13 likes. But I will try to get caught up with some of y'all. I mean, I will latch on to somebody's channel, and I'll run through 4 or 5 shorts and leave likes and comments. And I may hit one video or 2 videos, depending on how long they are, and leave comments. Sometimes I catch somebody on a live stream, and I'll come in and I'll spend a little time on their live stream and leave several comments. And I mean, I try to show support, but then just work in my day and what else going on. 10 in the house, 14 likes. I'm not paying attention that well, and I am still looking for a wing person that can help me with the live stream, and may wind up coming on to do where I've got a dual host, or a co-host or whatever. Start doing some dual, have somebody help me out. I've even toyed with the idea of hiring somebody that can come in and help me with my hour live streams. But Uncle Al always says stick to topic. And there are times when I do a lot of research on a topic that I'm live streaming, or that I'm doing doing one of my newses, Coffee Talk News, which I'll be coming out with another Coffee Talk News in the near future. Right now, the video that I'm figuring I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to put a box together for KP Heathen, a follow-up box, and it'll have some follow-up goodies in it, which I'll video and then get to him, and he'll probably do an unboxing video of it, because he streams. And real nice guy, very supportive, and I encourage you to give him some love. And then he's also been doing more preparedness or prepper type. I sent him a couple of little camp stoves, and he's been doing videos cooking with his camp stoves. I may need to send him some more. May need to send him some more of the fuel tablets. You get a pack of 24. Security guard. Okay. And thank you for your service. Uncle Al served in the Air Force. I believe it was the Air Force. And thank you for your service. Well, California would like to disarm everybody. And if you have to defend yourself, they'd like to prosecute you. You know, how dare you kill that innocent little criminal? You know, or how dare you shoot that that poor criminal? You know. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. So it has been a day. It's been a week. You're getting towards the end of the school year when it's Monday and you're saying, "Is it Friday yet? Is it Friday?" In a couple of weeks, I'll have a 4-day weekend. We'll have Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday after the holiday, Easter holiday. So I'll have a 4-day weekend for that one. And I've been a good boy. I haven't used any of my sick leave. In Florida, D is unarmed and G license is armed. Yeah, it helps if you're in a conservative area where law enforcement appreciates, helping to clean up some of the crime. Yeah. We've been having some trouble with some of the nut politicians, stuff that they say, the grief that they cause. They have nothing good to say about anything. It's all resist. They hate the fact how the election turned out, and now it's like, what can we do to prevent the conservative agenda or the agenda of the people who voted? What amazes me is the number of votes that the administration got, but when you look at how close it is in the House, when you look at how many leftists are in the House, we're not talking moderate, we're talking leftists. It is a scary thought. Civil War 2.5. Yeah, Uncle Al. Yeah. Summer of Love too. That's a good one, Uncle Al. Thank you. Uncle Al will keep you entertained with some of the stuff he thinks up. They're mad because they are no longer getting their way by throwing tantrums. Yes, they are. We need to give them what's called a binky. Or in Spanish, it would be a chupon. They need a pacifier. Let them suck on that. Nine in the house, 14 likes. So I will tell you, I will try to keep posting. I will post, hopefully, that I will be on tomorrow. I will try to put together my video. I have to do some editing and do all my, description such. I'll be trying to get that follow-up box together for the heathen, and then try to get it off the early part of this next week. Then I'll work on somebody else. But I appreciate y'all's support. Appreciate you coming in. I do support those who support me. Or remember, if you want to have an opportunity to be in the drawing for the next goodie box or the subscriber goodie box winner, look at my, I don't put out that many of them, but leave me a supportive comment and a like on each of the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit 1900, and I'm 30 some odd to go right now, and it could happen overnight. There have been times when I pick up 30, 40 subscribers in a couple of days, and then there are times when I go for weeks and don't pick up one. But yeah, the Tesla, they caught several people that they arrested for destruction, firebombing, and Molotov cocktails, and keying, and just all sorts of stupid stuff that they're trying to damage Teslas. Well, as I say, you know, I believe in being prepared, the Scout motto, and I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day, I take my medication, drink my coffee, I say the Lord's Prayer, try to get right, and treat people the way I want to be treated. Lead by example. A good leader is a good follower. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. I appreciate you guys. Good night and God bless. Bye-bye.